States. We've been watching the Karen Read murder retrial play out, and we are very close to hearing this prosecution rest their case in chief. But first, they wanted to put in some evidence in front of the jury. Let's go back into the courtroom right where we left off.
So I thought, could I have run him over? Did he try to get me as I was leaving and I didn't know it? I mean, I've always got the music blasting. It's snowing. I got the wipers going, the heater blasting. Did he come and hit the back of my car and I hit him in the knee and he's drunk and passed out and asphyxiated or something? And then when I hired David Yannetti, I asked him those questions the night of January 29th. Like, David, what if, I don't know, what if I ran his foot over or what if I clipped him in the knee and he passed out or went to care for himself and he threw up or passed out, and David said, yeah, then you have some element of culpability.
Exhibit 207.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth rests.
Okay. There you have it, the prosecution resting their case in chief in front of the jury. And what a way to end their case in chief. One thing that has been markedly different about this time around, this prosecution of the case of Karen Read, is that Hank Brennan has weaved in these clips, Karen Read's own words at different points throughout the trial, starting with the very beginning of the case and now ending this case. April 10th, 2024 is when that was recorded. That was a documentary where Karen Read's team allowed this documentary team to come in and talk to her on camera many times through the course of this trial. So April 10th, that would have been during the last trial. She didn't take the stand, so that jury didn't hear from her. This one is hearing from her a lot. Let's go back in. The jury's still inside and Judge Beverly Cannoni still on the record.
Time at sidebar, and we've had times that we've kept you in the deliberation room because we've been trying to sort through everything, trying to make this trial as efficient as possible, but also honoring and respecting all the hard work of the lawyers that's gone into preparing this trial. So sometimes I do understand that it's frustrating for you. But today we were able to spend some time this morning. I know we kept you in there almost half an hour, and we've just spent some time now. So I can tell you that we are ahead of schedule right now. I still need to talk to the lawyers about something tomorrow morning. So we're going to send you home now and have you come back tomorrow morning at 9:30, because today I know we kept you until 9:30, and it doesn't make any sense where I already know I need to talk to the lawyers tomorrow morning to have you here for a 9 o'clock start. So tomorrow will be a full day, and we'll have you here ready to start at 9:30. Okay, so those same cautions. Please do not discuss this case with anyone. Don't do any independent research or investigation into the case. If you happen to see, hear, or read anything about the case, please disregard it and let us know. And also, please continue to be careful with your social media use. So we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Rise to the jury.
And that ends day 22 there in Dedham, Massachusetts. Let's bring in our guests, Jack Rice and Randolph Rice, both criminal defense attorneys, both former prosecutors. Jack, let me start with you. That use of a video of Karen Read saying, did I hit him in the knee? Could he have been trying to get me and I didn't notice? Talk about the use of that after Dr. Judson Welcher showed them a video of what could have happened and how she may have hit John O'Keefe.
Julia, it was absolutely brilliant. It's an old refrain. We've said it many times, primacy and recency. People remember the first things they hear and the last things they hear, and they sometimes forget everything in between. When you use her words, her voice, her presence, and you weave it through this case, but you finish it with her, it all comes back to that. This is exactly how you should prosecute something like this. And it's somewhat petrifying when you're on the other side of it and watching it sort of avalanching on top of you.
Randolph Rice, your reaction to the way that they've incorporated, because of course I'm always looking at these cases from the legal standpoint, being an attorney, but as a broadcast journalist, this has been a production. I mean, this is what we do on Court TV. We bring you sound bites and we incorporate them, we pause things and let you hear something that matches up with what we're talking about. That's what Hank Brennan has been doing.
Yeah, masterfully. I mean, he really put this trial together in a way that is consumable by, the public as we are today. We are all sort of used to these 15-second sound bites and, TikTok and Twitter and all the other social medias, and they are being able to put this case in front of the jury in that way to where they can consume that information. Now, look, they've had witnesses that have gone very long, but having those little clips certainly hurts Karen Read. Now, what will be interesting during this defense's case is they'll get to see the entire clip, which will have context to it. Does that sway the jury?
Oh, that will be big. If we start seeing these same video clips, Jack, in the defense case, I think that will be surprising to a lot of people because they tried to argue that these videos should not come in the prosecution's case in the way that they did. The prosecution won, but do you now embrace that in your defense case?
Lean in. You absolutely do. Let's face it. The Commonwealth took the best parts of these tapes and they used them. Now, since they've already used them and they're already wrapping them around her, you need to bring in the rest and say, it's funny how they decided to show you something, but they left this out, didn't they? You never saw this before, did you? Why do you think that is? This is just another part of the manipulation. I guarantee you're going to see that over and over as the defense moves through this case.
They're ahead of schedule, Randolph. That's a good thing. I'm sure this jury is thinking because they were already told how many weeks they would be in service, and the judge doesn't want them to think that going home early means we're going to lengthen out this trial. But what do you anticipate from the defense case? We already got Jack's opinion a little bit in the last hour about who he thinks is going to be called. But the defense has a question in front of them. Do they go through their entire theory with all of those people inside of the house who are going to be hostile to them, or do they just focus on the problems with the prosecution's case?
Yeah, defense has a tough decision to make here, and I go to Jack's point about primacy and recency. Do they bring in Brian Higgins and Brian Albert at the beginning and say Proctor to the end and fill the middle with all of their contrary technical data, all the people, the experts are going to come in and are going to contrast what the state said? Or do they flip it around and they put Proctor at the very beginning and bring in Brian Higgins and Brian Albert at the end? That's sort of my debate as to where they're going with their case.
Randolph Rice, Jack Rice, thank you both so much for your analysis throughout this hour, helping us break it down and digest. The breaking news this hour is that Karen Read's prosecution has rested its case, and now things will move to the defense.